Shri V. Vidyasagar, President of Lahu Udyog Bharati, wing of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, speaks about why the banking system has to be proactive in understanding the needs of the MSME sector. As an industry veteran for over 3 decades, he understands the issues that the MSMEs face in the day-to-day running of the units. In this episode, Mr. Vidyasagar speaks about why the banking sector needs to change the way it interacts with the entrepreneurs.
I cannot say banking reforms, it is a job of RBI or Finance Ministry, but I can only request from the industry angle. Okay, first of all, there has to be a trust and friendliness between the industry or the entrepreneur and the bankers. Gone are the days where entrepreneurs would have swallowed money or diverted money. Gone are the days. It's all transparent. Okay. Today there has to be a friendliness between the borrower and lender, and then ensure that hand-holding is done by the bankers with whatever reforms government can do. You see, any developed country, the bankers are very, very liberal and open-minded. Here, because some big accounts have gone bad and all that, the whole industry is seen with the same impression. That's wrong. You have to give a lot of stimulus, continuous stimulus packages to MSMEs and wherever it is applicable to the large industry, and ensure that proper credit is available to the industry. Otherwise, we cannot aim at being a manufacturing hub, a global manufacturing hub. Unless cash is available at the most competitive rate, maybe 3 or 4%, which other industries in other countries are having, and need-based fund should be there, not norm-based. What happens norm-based means, you have to hold raw material in this value, receivables in this value. It has to be an absolute need-based funds. All industry cannot be seen at the same with the same lens. The holding of current assets, we say, working capital is given and current assets are called, raw material is current asset. Spades and consumables are current assets, and dies and molds partly are current assets, and then your receivables are current assets. Some industry needs 90 days, some industry needs 45 days of holding of different current assets. You cannot generalize the industry. You have to set norms for different industry, how much cash is required by them, and also the cost of funds have to be very, 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 very reasonable. If you have to grow, if you have to sustain in the country, grow in the country and be an exporter. That is one. And the kind of package we got, this has to continue every 4 or 5 years. One time correction has to be there. What I mean to say is, if there is a problem, if a unit is there, bankers are shying away. Basically, earlier it was due to CBI and CVC and all those C's. Bankers were fearing to lend money to eligible and then good potential companies also. Don't do that. You do business due diligence of an industry, business due diligence of a unit. You check the credentials of the entrepreneur. Don't fund willful defaulters. It could be a mismanagement technically, but not intentionally. So fund good potential units. Do your own diligence, whether this company is worth or not, worth giving funding or not, then it's good. So if you say reforms, what we need is, every industry has dies and molds. Okay? Dies and molds definition doesn't come in current asset. Neither it comes in fixed asset. I don't know if you're an engineer. Dies, molds, patents, patents and other things are semi-current asset or semi-fixed asset. Many of the companies which are facing problem with the bankers are, lot of money gets stuck in dies and molds, and banker doesn't recognize those things. There has to be an absolute special funding for dies and molds, which doesn't come in fixed asset register and cannot be taken in stock statement. So dies and molds have to be funded from time to time. Otherwise, what is happening? Companies are diverting working capital on, somebody comes and places an order, we have to make a die or mold for them. Of course, we need to take the die cost or mold cost. So viability has to be seen. But in the temporary, when you are diverting some money into dies and molds, that has to be really recognized, and time to time, maybe every 2-3 years, you need to check this into check the current asset statement, check the stock statement, and see dies and molds are removed from the list and funded separately, provided overall viability is there in the company. That is very important. In every stock statement, you have obsolete items. For the bankers, people keep giving a stock statement with the value. If I have taken 1 crore of rupees, I should give a stock and receivable statement of say 1.3 crores. In that 1.3 crores, some items are not used at all. See, if you have raw material or spares which cannot be used in production, but if it is figuring in the stock statement, banker will think that you are having money, you should rotate your raw material. Whereas this guy doesn't show it. So one-time correction is definitely required periodically. So obsolete items have to be removed from the stock statement, and of course bankers do a lot of audits, stock audits and all that, but they have to take the industrialist or the entrepreneur into confidence, sit across the entrepreneur, show the stock statement, tell them that if you feel that something has to be removed from the stock statement, please remove it, and cluster that into a term loan and let them pay over a period of 2-3 years. What is happening, to cover small issues, the industries are getting into bigger problems. For the sake of fear, for the sake of drawing power, I'll tell you, bankers arrive at the drawing power taking current assets which are genuine or which are rotatable. Like a raw material has to go and come, cash should come back. When you invoice, your receivables have to come back. So bankers will fund almost 65 to 70% of the valid current assets, genuine current assets, or realizable current assets. So what is happening? Your stock statement doesn't really contain all realizable current assets. That could be the industrial compulsion. I am not telling people are diverting. Due to particular industrial compulsion, a stock statement may have some lacunas. These things have to be corrected, taking into confidence of the bankers, or the bankers have to take the industrialist, the entrepreneur into confidence, or the industry into confidence, and see a one-time correction periodically. If one-time correction is not there, it is very difficult. Now, for example, now we are getting moratorium of 4 to 5 years or 5 to 6 months, but they are asking us the money in 6th month. How can you pay? Even today, many markets are not open. Chennai is totally closed. Bombay is not working fully. Delhi is bad. You are over now, April, May, June, and you want the payment in August. How can you pay? And for a unit for like us, we spend, our expenditure itself is 10% of our working capital every month. Every month, my expenditure is roughly 7 to 8%. And 3 months means I am losing 25% of working capital. So where do we go? That open-mindedness should be there. Magnanimity should be there. Trust should be there on the industry. Take them, because again, as I mentioned earlier, we are creating wealth. We are creating employment. Chaitanya, we have more than 600 workers. I have 200 engineers with me, and they are working with me for more than 25-30 years. So we are putting everything, we have put all our personal monies, we are borrowing on personal names, we are putting into the industry. That bankers have to realize, government has to realize. It is time that an entrepreneur or an industrialist is looked at as a wealth creator and not as a burden to the banks. We are not burden to the banks at all. You be little small things, banks cannot take decision. Smallest things. It so happens, it's just like, the old saying, a small hole in the pocket, it becomes big if you don't really stitch it. If you don't stitch it on time, it becomes bigger. Proper stitching has to be there on time. COVID time, German government told all the banks, just call the entrepreneur, call the industrialist, and just check up what does he need and give it off. If you are convinced that he has a business plan, forget what happened yesterday. Where does our system, our bankers get into your past of last 15-20 years? We are coming through a system of government where we had all the problems. There was grey market. So many things were there. Let us start afresh. My submission to the banking industry is start fresh. Believe your own entrepreneurs. Give support to them. Give warmth to them. Handhold them. And tell them, Baba, what do you want? Trust is not there. Trust is not there. Another thing, RBI to government to RBI, RBI to banks, banks to branches. It is not percolating down at all. Even today, hardly 30% have got the credit. If I need medicine today, I should take it today. If I am taking the medicine after 1 month, I'll die. Same thing is happening. You were supposed to give money 1 month back, you are still not giving. Trust is not there. These kind of packages are required every 3-4 years. One-time corrections have to be allowed for every unit in 1-2 years. No entrepreneur, to the best of my knowledge, my information, Laghu Udyog Bharti, we have so many members. No entrepreneur diverts his money. Because we want to grow. We are plowing back our money into the system. And you don't believe it? This is wrong. The bankers' attitude towards the industry has to completely change. Completely change. They should take the industries into confidence. Even if the industry is doing a small thing wrong, sit across him. Ask him, why did you do this? As long as you don't have ill intention, you would have done to cover up some other mistake. Yes. Why don't you identify that mistake and say, Baba, you do this? Second most important thing, Chaitanya, this I wanted to tell many times, is the funding in the market, the grey funding or private funding should stop. That means entrepreneurs, industry should stop borrowing from outside. Why are they borrowing today? They have to pay power, they have to pay salaries, the bank is not supporting. And they are borrowing at the 3 times, 4 times of the price. I am dead against this. This is my favorite subject. I wanted to take it to the highest level. Don't borrow, let not entrepreneurs borrow from private. Not only, they are borrowing from NBFCs, non-banking financial institutions. Their price is very high. What is that? The main banks are retailing through NBFCs. Why are you doing that? You are keeping a middleman to the industry. Now banks' interest is less than 10%, 9 to 10%. NBFC is anything between 15 to 21%. And again they are giving to industry. Why are you having middleman? According to me, I have nothing to say about NBFCs, but I don't want a middleman between the prime lending percentage, prime lending rate and NBFCs. Number one. Number two, private funding has to be checked up, has to be really checked. Today, a person lends his money anything between 24 to 48% in case of need. He's only surviving, he's just trying to survive, he's taking whatever it is available, finally he'll die. Please check that entrepreneurs are not pushed to go to private lending or NBFCs. NBFC is okay for short term if banks are taking time and all that. Private lending has to stop. One-time corporate debt restructuring has to be really given to every unit. Just send a letter or mail stating that, do you want any corporate debt, any debt restructuring? If I have to pay in 4 years, if you are under pressure or strain for cash, make it 6 years. Your installment will come down. You are taking any interest. One-time debt restructuring is required. Tenure should be changed for one-time restructuring. Yes, that is a common product in the banking. But this has to be given, every company has to be given an opportunity in every 3 years to check and balance, There has to be an absolutely open session between the company and bankers. They don't understand the business plan of the company. So one-time restructuring is required, taking the industry into confidence, number one. Now, Government of India it is just like quasi-equity. See, for funding, banks normally take 1.5:1 or that is 2:1. That means if you are putting 1, banks would fund 2. Many companies don't have that 1 also. So, government is supporting in that 1, treating it as promoter's contribution. So that is called subordinate debt. And also government also is giving equity. The proposals are there. So support in the equity of MSMEs to make, see, if you are putting one, you will be able to borrow two. So put in that in the kitty of one. If I have to put say 100 rupees and I have 70, give 30 so that I borrow another 200. So these kind of fundings are required for all potential good units, and bankers have to take people understand the business plan of the companies and be a little more broad-minded and not fear that they're losing money. It's extremely clear. Public sector banks used to have fear of CBI or investigations. That should go. Anyhow, Madam has been telling that we are removing the CCs. Nobody will. Madam has been telling. It's good if it happens. Interest rates, Chaitanya, are still higher when compared to China, when compared to all developed countries. Okay, some of the countries only charge 0 or 1% or 2%. I believe it should be a good 4 to 5% interest in this country to take on good exports. One most important thing is lot of support has to be given for export oriented units. Export oriented units, soft lending, that means they should at least give 2.5 times to 1 time. Number one, post shipment credit should be made available easy. There are a lot of things are there, but everything has to be consolidated. And as I mentioned a couple of times, trust, faith and understanding of the business by the bank is very, very important to avoid calamities later. If you don't correct it now, it will be a problem later. So these are the reforms we need. And middlemen have to be removed. Today, a lot of people are working, getting funds from banks. Transparency has to be there. A lot of loan syndicators, they should go. They're charging 2, 3, 4%. They should go. It's little radical, but I'm telling you, middleman has to be removed. Middlemen between the industry and bank have to be removed. And then private lending should stop. And then private lending is very serious thing in the country, I'm telling you. I'll tell you the problem. There has to be some check. The problem is, the guy who is lending, no matter what business he does, he'll not get that income. No matter what business, see, if I am doing, on my capital I don't get 24% in a year. Until if I am working 24/7, taking all the risk and then all the headache and pain, and I don't get 24% on my return on my investment. And this guy is getting, he'll cut and give the money. If you are taking a lakh of rupees, he'll cut, per month 2 rupees, 3 rupees, and is giving that. I just want government to bring lot of revolution in this grey funding or in this parallel funding. Otherwise, industry cannot survive. A poor industrialist, he will be neck deep. He is responsible for his family, for his employees' family, for his suppliers' families. How many people will take care here? Many of my personal experiences I'm telling you. This should stop, and I wanted to take it to Laghu Udyog Bharati to the highest level, that it has to be banned and it has to be taken as extremely serious issue that private lending should stop for industry. Very, very, very serious. Their bank should chip in. Their bank should chip in and see that if entrepreneur doesn't borrow. I'll tell you the reason. If you are having private borrowings, you will be forced to pay his interest first, and you are not paying bank interest.
Yes, that is a problem.
There is a problem. That fellow comes and sits here. So private funding has to stop. This has to be a revolution in Indian banking industry or Indian industry or Indian government's surveillance of lending from private people should stop. It is impossible, but over a period of 10-15 years it has to stop. You are paying through the nose. You are paying 2 times or 3 times of the bank interest. It's time banks understand the problems of all the industry, particularly MSMEs. See that Transparency is there between both the borrower and lender. Understand the business of the borrower. We are also understanding bank's problem. We are not asking anything free. So these reforms have to come for long-term sustenance of Indian industry, for your own domestic consumption, for exports, and everybody will be happy. Your banker is happy because he knows in advance what is happening. The industry is happy that my banker is coming, is understanding my good and bads, needs. So this is, and venture capital equity support should be there to the industry. And then next 20-25 years, if you want to be a really good manufacturing hub, many things have to be done. I am not asking overnight, but over a period of 6 months, 1 year, you do it. So these are my issues on banking things. Why don't you allow money into the country from outside for working capital? There are a lot of restrictions to be invested into working capital. So government has to liberalize borrowing money for working capital from outside at lower rate. This is also, I don't know what process it has to take, what RBI, they must be having their own way of looking at it. So monies should come from outside, which is at lower cost. As I said, people are in developed countries, people who park their money in banks, they hardly get 1%, 0.5%. Or on the contrary, bank charges for safeguarding their money. So this has to go. So industry should be allowed to borrow also from outside for working capital. There has to be a CIBIL holiday, Andy. What I mean to say is there has to be a CIBIL suspension or holiday for at least 2 years for all eligible and good and potential companies, so that banker understands why the unit has gone into a substandard or a lower grade of CIBIL. This is very important. So again, this would be a sort of one-time correction. At least in 2020 and 21, any of government has initiated that substandard cheyoddu and we should not go down any. So let us have a sort of CIBIL holiday for at least 2 years, not really recourse to funding. The CIBIL rating should not hamper or should not deprive a good unit from borrowing the monies from banks if bank is convinced that this unit has huge potential or good potential to make money and make good their rating or standard in 2 years. So sort of CIBIL suspension of substandard assets has to be taken by bankers, and see that CIBIL's rating should not come in the way of their funding for good and eligible units. This is one very important thing I wanted to tell you. And second thing, Andy, good units which has huge business value, which has huge technical and other competencies, which has strong market networks, which are producing import substitutes, which has very high potential of exports. These units have to be really recognized by MSME ministry, and also there has to be a board. Just like we have CIBIL, there has to be a board wherein this board recognizes the competencies, the technology a company has, and also the huge potential what the company has. This has to be recognized by MSME, and a board has to be constituted for this, so that a company which has good knowledge and good potential can definitely represent to that board and explain to them that they have a good business plan, they have good technocrats, they have good human capital, they have good infrastructure, they have good marketing network. If all these things can be summarized and provided to a board, just as CIBIL looks after your financial health, there has to be a board which really sees your strengths of the company. That board recognizes the strengths of the company and definitely supports upcoming units which can be very strong in the country and globally. So we need to have a sort of board. Maybe MSME ministry can have a board wherein all the champions can go and give their profile and explain to them how they can make a difference in the country, how they can make a difference in exports, how they can make a difference in import substitutes and compete in the global market. Government has to recognize units which have strong potential to compete in the global market. This is one most important thing, will give a lot of motivation and inspiration to good units in the country. So CIBIL ane kaakunda, we need to have a champions board wherein the companies can go and explain about the strengths.